Welcome to the Phoenix Prosperity Podcast, where wealth meets legacy. Join your host, Tim Fergestad, as we explore the journeys of Phoenix's finest to success and beyond.
Hi, this is Tim Fergestad. Thank you for joining us. I'm very pleased to have Alex Jones here with me today. Alex Jones is the Vice President of Operations at Specialized, a dynamic company currently focusing on rapid expansion in the advertising specialty industry. Alex is deeply committed to the well-being and professional development of her employees, fostering a culture of collaboration and continuous improvement. Welcome to the show, Alex.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
All right. Can you expand a little bit more about what Specialized works on?
Yeah, absolutely. Specialized is we do a lot of different things. We basically provide anything you need to market your business. So everything from branded apparel, promotional products, printed materials, and then we also serve as a third-party logistics company for our clients. So we help them use our products to solve the business problems that they're having, whether that be employee recognition, employee retention, customer acquisition. We help them come up with programs to achieve their goals in those areas.
Okay. And how long have you been doing that?
Almost 6 years. I'm getting really close to that 6-year anniversary.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah.
And you mentioned graduate degrees as well. What was that focus?
Yeah, I just graduated from ASU last month with my
Woo!
master's in business administration. Yes,
Nice.
I'm very excited. I'm just now kind of feeling that downturn, and I have all this free time I don't know what to do with and how to fill it, but it's been great.
Okay, excellent. So what you did that while working at Specialized. Is there what sort of goals are you aiming for? And why did you decide to get the advanced training?
Yeah, so I had always been making my business decisions based on my instincts and just kind of, my intuition. And I felt like it was really important for me to get to a place where I was making those decisions based on business principles, analytics, just different metrics that would be really important to make sure I could back up my decisions to my boss, who's the owner of the company, or just even to my team, right? I want them to believe in me and know that I'm making these decisions based on credible facts that we have access to.
Sure. Was there a particular instance or event that sort of made you think, wow, I need to be a little more intentional, a little more informed, and have a better plan about how I'm going to move forward?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. So I grew up in a family. My dad's worked in higher education my whole life. So I always knew I'd get a master's degree. And I had wanted my MBA, but I wasn't entirely sure when I would go for it. And I actually went on a vacation. And when I came back, I was expecting someone to be placed in my former role. And my boss came to me and said, the whole time you've been gone, I just kept thinking all of these interviewees, all these candidates aren't Alex. And he's like, I really want you to take this job and run the operations of our company. He's like, but I think, these are the few areas where you need to improve and develop your knowledge and all those kind of things so that you can be successful in this role. And so it was kind of him like pushing me. So it was baptism by fire. I'm doing the job. I'm in school. I'm trying to learn all those things all at once. But I think it was actually really helpful because I could apply things I was learning in business school at work in real time.
Right. So. For sure. You actually have a lens of your workspace for context, right? And what's the reticular activating system, right? We see what we look for, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You can really pick out the pieces from the course that are going to apply best to your current situation. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's also great that you have an environment fostering your growth, right? Where so you pushing you to get I want to say uncomfortable, but to strengthen, right, your repertoire and your skill set.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel very, very lucky to work for someone who's invested in me, not just professionally, but personally as well, right? Like I grew a lot as a person during grad school as well. It just wasn't all about business either. So it was great.
Sure. Yeah, you need balance for sure.
Absolutely.
So that's not sometimes people, when they make a career change or they do something like that, it's risky. Sounds like you had a pretty comfortable spot to take that to grow, right? Which is nice, right? Like I said, it's nice to have somebody supporting you and push you, but they're also pushing you to do something that you apparently already were planning on in some capacity.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of my classmates definitely were doing it for a career change. And I felt like I had the career and a company that I love. But I needed to be better if I was going to continue to move up. And that's something that I've always been really motivated to do. I have a lot of career ambitions, and it just felt like I was getting to the point where without those 3 letters after my name, I wasn't going to be able to progress any further. So I mostly did it so that I can, get those future titles that I want. And I feel like I love it here at Specialized, and I can see myself being here for a long time. And I can also see a point where I'm ready for a new challenge in, maybe 5 years or something. And I think right now I'm setting myself up for that success in that future as well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So what is an underrated skill or habit that's been pivotal to your success?
Ooh. Habit, I think, would be how much I invest in my employees. Like I give them a lot of my time. I've been told by a lot of people, it's probably a little unconventional how much time I spend with each individual, but
Okay.
I've just built these really great relationships where I get to spend a lot of time investing in them and helping them develop and grow. And it's just become a habit to make sure I'm checking in with them really consistently, spending that time. In the beginning, it took a lot of discipline when I was like, okay, this is what I want to do, and I want to foster these really good relationships. But now it's certainly a habit of just like checking in with everybody.
Nice. Communication is important. Well, how would you describe that? So your leadership style?
My leadership style is definitely about empowerment. I'm pretty hands off, so I've had to empower my team to make decisions that they feel like fall in line with our values and who we are as an organization. And then really, I want to be an advisor. So when there's something they come across that they can't make that decision on their own, then they'll come to me and we'll talk about it. I try not to just give them the answers. I try to, challenge their thinking and have them come up with what's the best choice. I think the other part of my leadership style is I'm just super employee centric. Ever since I learned about Herb Kelleher, and he's like, you can't teach nice. So if you treat your employees well, they'll treat your customers well. It's really resonated with me, and it's something that I've just held on to. So I just pour myself into my employees, and I genuinely believe that they pour themselves into our customers and their duties as well because of that.
Okay, so I don't know if it's in the selection process, but in building your team, what sort of key traits do you prioritize?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'm hiring for culture for sure. I spend a lot of time with people when I hire them, and I think sometimes it turns off the wrong candidate because I want to talk to them on Teams. I want to talk to them on the phone. I want to take them to lunch. I want to bring them to the office because I'm trying to get a feel for who they are as a person. Like we at Specialized have spent so much time and effort to build this culture that we really value, that I only want to bring people in who are going to add to it in a positive way. So I'm looking for people who have an interest in other people. I'm looking for people who are kind. I'm looking for people who are genuine, right? I'm looking for people who can say, I was wrong. It's hard to kind of
growth mindset.
Absolutely. Right. Like it would be hard to be in a company as focused on growth as we are without a growth mindset, because there are going to be so many bumps along the way and so many roadblocks, but somebody who can say, okay, I'm going to change my thinking and try it this way or do it this way. Like I really need those problem solvers.
Right. Right. I heard you just reminded me of there's different questions you can ask to try to see if they have a scarcity or growth or fixed mindset or a growth mindset. But one of them was to ask what would they do if they were going to learn the saxophone?
Oh, interesting. I
How
would
would
be
you
so
master the
overwhelmed.
saxophone? Right. I mean, I think the point is that they have to have a system, right? They have to have a plan and some sort of something rational.
Absolutely. Yeah. Find a mentor.
Right. Yes.
That's
All
for
those sorts of
sure.
things.
Yeah.
Right. Right. A training program, an educational program, right? All sorts of things. So how do you foster innovation and encourage your team to think creatively?
That is a great question. I think, how do we foster innovation here? I think it has a lot to do with, I think a lot of creativity requires like a lot of input. So specifically with like my graphic design team, I really encourage them to spend time like getting all of that creative input. So going to a coffee shop and looking at the different styles or finding Instagram accounts that they find inspiring, photos of nature, time in nature, whatever it might be, so that when they're coming up with new designs, it's fresh in their mind and they have so many things to pull from. And then for the rest of the team, I guess it's about, I don't even know. That's such a great question. I have one individual who is our project coordinator. And his innovation here has been to create all these new processes so that we can do things in a really structured way. So for him, I think it's about explaining really clearly where we're starting and what the goal is, and then just letting him kind of do trial and error, right? We'll try it this way. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. And then figuring out how we improve on each of those steps.
Right. Right. Okay. I had another thought there, but now I've lost it. I'm thinking about your industry again now. And so what trends excite you about your industry, right? What do you prepare and how are you preparing to leverage them for specialized growth?
Yeah, it's a great question. So our industry is turning all the time towards personalization. People want to see their name on things. They don't want just your generic pen, right? I think for a long time, people went to a trade show and they would just come out with a bag full of pens. So we want to go above and beyond for our customers. Again, it's with personalization. So a few years ago, we invested in a box printer that can print digitally right on a box where we can put your name, like Tim, exciting things inside, so that when your first day of a new job, you arrive to your desk and it's there with your name and there's all of these goodies of swag or merchandise. Right. We have another customer who they hire somebody and the day they start their training, a box arrives from Specialized with the branding of our customer, all of the training goods they need. So we want to make it feel really intentional, really personal. Right. And that's a huge trend in our industry. That and it's always been really focused on going green, right? A lot of eco products are becoming more and more popular in our industry, so that's a huge trend. So we try not to sell things to our customers that are like going to just be in landfills, right? We want to give stuff that's really meaningful. So
sure, not like you're welcome to your new job. Here's your personalized pencil holder.
Exactly. Yeah. That's gonna just stay here when you leave. Like we want to sell stuff that people are going to take home with them, that they're going to use in their house, or it's a tumbler that's keeping them away from using plastic water bottles. It's such a simple thing and everybody has one now. So it's about picking the one that, your team's actually going to use.
Do you have any sort of onboarding process or form that allows you to figure out what they're interested in so you can maybe tailor things to the individual better?
With our customers or?
Yeah.
So one of the things we actually specialize in is making everything custom. So we want to take time to get to know our customer, their brand, what their goals and mission are, so that when we come up with a presentation for them, it's tailored specific to them. So for us, it has a lot to do with the salespeople going out, building those relationships. As we get to know them, then
Sure.
our presentations are more and more spot on. As far as on the operations side, we don't necessarily have an onboarding process, so we really look to our sales team to give us all of the details that we need to be successful.
Okay. Now, can you share some of your own personal sort of influences, right? Was there a mentor, a book, podcast, or something that significantly impacts your outlook on your success or your wealth or health?
Yeah.
Or all of those things?
Yes. I do love a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of them. I love How I Built This with oh boy, now his last name is Guy Raz. There we go. It was slipping my mind. And so it's just the story of how these businesses all start, really from the ground up. So there's a lot of episodes that are really interesting, but there's one specifically from Five Guys Burgers that they talk about not caring about the cost of things. They just wanted the highest quality. And so they would do like taste tests to pick things. And I think it can be really, our industry can be really cost sensitive. People are buying things that, sometimes they're the first to go in hard times. So making sure that we're not just selling people stuff that's the cheapest. We want it to be like a quality product. So that one's definitely stuck with me. As far as mentors go, I do have a few. I have like a former boss of mine. She's now the president of Southern Utah University. And when I worked for her, she was really one of the first women who I felt like very similar to, who was very ambitious and went after everything she wanted. Her name is Mindy Benson, and she's been a mentor of mine for over a decade now. And, we're great friends, and she's impacted me and like really helped me think that my goals and dreams are attainable.
Awesome. That's great. Good stuff. And a shout out to Mindy.
Yeah.
So you reminded me of the thing I was thinking about before in terms of cost. Employee turnover is very expensive. And
Yes.
So, right, getting that culture right up front is very important. There's a saying, hire slow, fire fast.
Yeah.
And I imagine that's part of the hiring process is once you've decided to bring them on, is to, I think the term was love bomb them with with a lot of that sort of stuff, right? And attention and stuff, to let them know they're part of the tribe now and so forth.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
So that's fascinating stuff. I'm glad it's going well. This is the Phoenix Prosperity Podcast. So one of the things I like to do is ask about how you're moving your personal and or professional prosperity forward. Do you have like personal investments you're doing? Do you have businesses and are you working on? What are your plans for the future? Do you have legacy plans?
That's awesome. I feel like all of the investing and that kind of stuff is kind of new to me, but I just bought my first home.
Nice.
I've owned it officially a month today.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And so really for me, that's like one of my first steps into really investing in my personal wealth. Obviously it was a big step, and I have like some private investments, but it's not something that I feel very knowledgeable about. It's something that intimidates me a little bit. And so I just kind of stick with the S&P 500 and kind of, follow that. But yeah, I mean, I definitely have entrepreneurial aspirations, and one day that's something I would love to do, is create a business. Quite a few of my friends are entrepreneurs here in Phoenix as well. And so I look forward to the day of kind of learning from them.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah. It's not taught in schools, right?
Yes. It's
so a lot of people I didn't know, right? I just put my money where my financial advisor said, right? Just get some mutual funds or index funds. And it took me a long time to realize that there were a lot of options out there.
Absolutely.
Exciting times. Okay, but welcome to home ownership.
Thank you. I'm dreading when it's not as glamorous as the first month,
Right.
When that first AC goes out, I'm gonna.
Yeah. Or you
Anyway.
come home and your hot water heater leaked all over your house, or
Yeah, I'm dreading that. So knock on wood that it doesn't happen for a while.
right. Okay. Well, so I have a whole bunch of questions here. I'm trying to keep us on time. So reflecting on your journey, what do you wish you knew about success and wealth, building success and wealth earlier in your career? You're still early in your career, but it sounds like you're on a great track with your training in the company. But what do you wish you would have maybe known earlier?
Yeah, I think so. I was told a lot that you never get your dream job, you build your dream job. So yeah, I would have started asking for opportunities sooner. I would have had the confidence to say, like, hey, I want more, give me more, challenge me. I would have said those things sooner. I didn't have the confidence to say those things really early in my career. And so what I would do is just kind of get bored and then move on, instead of saying, like, hey, I really like what we're doing here. I like the team and I want to have more challenges. Now I would say I'm very good at that. Probably annoys the heck out of my boss, but just making sure that I invest in myself and make sure that I was doing the things that were interesting to me, because I think you can do things that you don't love and you can learn from it. But if you're doing something you enjoy, I feel like you just grow so much faster.
Right.
So that's definitely something I wish I would have known earlier.
For sure. That's great advice. Is a lot of people, they do something, they finish it up and they're like, oh, that was fun. I like that. Now they go on to the next thing without actually intentionally looking for more of that or asking for more of that.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Well, for our listeners who want to learn more about you or Specialized, how can they find you?
I love that. So our website's hellospecialized.com. And so they can find the company there. I'm a little hard to find because my name's pretty generic. But they can find me on LinkedIn. I would love to connect and network as well. I don't know what my LinkedIn link is, but it's Alex Jones and I work at Specialized. So probably finding me through the company is the easiest.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you for watching, and thank you, Alex, for joining me today. We appreciate you sharing your insights and your journey so far. That's good stuff.
Thank you.
Inspired by our guests? Visit phoenixprosperitypodcast.com/guest and join us on the show and share your success story with Tim. The spotlight awaits.